It's a hot morning in Boyne City, and this downtown bakery is buzzing with locals and tourists alike.
It's actually not French even. It's Breton, like Gaelic. Yeah, close to the Welsh actually.
Gildas Lake Street Bakery is a not-so-hidden culinary gem in this little lakeside vacation town. Boyne is known for its ski resort, but there are some snowbirds, and of course, locals that enjoy the place year-round. Some of them have a rapport with Gildas Berrou himself.
Hi, my name is Gilda, and I'm from Gildas Lake Street Bakery. Nobody knows why. I always loved baking. I always loved the smell of. I think the smell got me when I was a kid. I would visit my local baker, and always bug him. And one day he asked my mom if I could go work with him at night. I was 10 years old, so he invited me to come and bake with him. And so he showed me things, how to make bread, and I think that did it. And then I started. I was 15 and a half actually, yeah. And I just loved it.
The shop offers an enticing array of baked goods, but the clear standout are crepes, of a quality that you'd expect to find in France.
My favorite meal growing up was the buckwheat crepes. We grew up making them with my mother, and so that would be what burgers would be to Americans. The buckwheat crepes are to the people from Brittany, I'd say. So I would eat a ham, egg, and cheese crepe, just about any chance I get.
French crepes originated in Brittany, Gilda's hometown in northwestern France. But he's called Northern Michigan home for several years now. He's made small adjustments over the years and been open to suggestions.
One time I think we gave in and we put American cheese on a crepe for a customer. Don't ask me how we had it in the bakery to begin with.
But like so many other chefs we've met, he's mostly stayed true to the recipes he grew up with.
And we put American cheese on a crepe, and we're not going to do it again.
This is The Dish, a podcast celebrating Michigan's incredible culinary talent. I'm Mercedes Mejia. Today, what brought this lifelong baker from Brittany, France to the Midwest, and what it takes to make the finest French crepe. I was here with my family a few years ago, and it's exactly how I remember it. There's a large glass display right by the entry showcasing quiches as large as a dinner plate. Another display tempts me with sweet pastries, various fruit scones, flaky croissants, and iced cinnamon rolls. I totally see what Gilda was saying about the aroma. It pulls you in. And what do people order the most on the food?
Banana Nutella, hands down. Once you get that Nutella in your mouth, that's it, My favorite is just homemade caramel or butter sugar. So usually when I have people who have been to Europe, they come back and they get butter sugar. So they try them in Brittany, and so that's the most traditional over there. But here it's Nutella banana or cinnamon sugar. Cinnamon sugar, when I start making them, you get the smell of the cinnamon, So.
Oh yeah, it smells so wonderful here. But it takes a lot more than a love of good smells to open up a bakery.
My path started with just a regular apprenticeship. So in France, when you do, it's like a trade school, I would say. Then I did a guild with a baker's guild, I would say. And so that took me throughout France. And I got lucky to be trained with some of the best bakers there is in France. So I got lucky enough to be able to do the major region of the wine region of France. So we taste the wine too. So it was awesome. And then I finished in Paris, and that was beautiful too. And I've learned a great deal of baking there through that. Then I ended up in the Middle East through it. A guy called me and said I need a baker in Tel Aviv. And I ended up over there. And when I was there, I went on vacation in France during the Jewish Passover. And I met a woman. She was American, and I ended up in Boyne City.
Yeah, what was your reaction to like American bakeries versus the ones that you grew up with and that you knew?
Oh, I don't know if I can say anything. Different ball game, what's lacking here is compared to the French. It's we get up every morning to go get bread. And here we like to buy them and keep them for a few days or a week or so in the fridge and or on the counter. And that's not my culture. We like fresh, So that was some adaptation.
when did you decide to make Northern Michigan home?
I kind of came to the US really not wanting to come here. There's a love and hate relationship between the French and the US, the propaganda and whatnot. So I was like, I don't know, man, those guys are all crazy. And so we ended up in Chicago, and people were friendliest people I've ever met. There were no rude people where I was, and I just loved it. I just loved the American people were nothing compared to what I was expecting, and loved every minute of it. And then my wife took me on vacation to Northern Michigan, to her parents' house in Indian River, and it was so beautiful and so peaceful. I slept for 3 days. I mean, I was exhausted constantly with work, and I said, we got to move to Northern Michigan because it's just unbelievably beautiful.
A slower pace of life.
Slower pace of life.
Crepes are pretty simple to make, but the technique is a bit difficult to master.
It can take a minute and a half to get it. Some people get it right away. I've had a few people who worked for me over the years who just came in and they got it. And I got some who still to this day are not going to be able to. And just take a good practice, But I grew up making them, so that was easy.
Well, I make pancakes all the time for my kids, but I don't make crepes a lot. And what do I need to know about making a great crepe?
First, you have to have the right ingredients, I guess. Especially for the buckwheat, you have to have a good buckwheat. Know how to mix it well, because the buckwheat, if it's not done properly, doesn't taste right. It tastes very bitter. And you have to know how to mix it, I suppose. It's not very complicated, just have to have a practice.
I didn't realize they were made with buckwheat flour. Buckwheat flour is not an ingredient I regularly keep in the pantry. What sets it apart from a wheat crepe or another crepe, for example?
Well, buckwheat is just a traditional bread from Brittany. That's what we used to eat 300-400 years ago when we were under the kings. The wheat we grew would go to the rich king families, and us peasants would have buckwheat to eat, and so it was cooked on a flat rock, like a flat bread, and we cook it so very crispy, so hence the name crepe, crisp, and we cook it on a flat bread and break it up into buttermilk. So that's how it started, and that's what we grew, I guess, over there. If you talk to somebody from Brittany like me, they're going to tell you my mother or my grandmother's recipe is the best one and it's the only one. So that's how many recipes we have, So.
Tell me about your recipe. Did you bring it from your own training, or was this your mother's recipe?
Just my mom's recipe, and that was it, So I just copied what she was doing when I was growing up.
Gilda has mostly held to his mother's base recipe, but he's made some small adjustments to cater to his audience. Take the ham, egg, and cheese crepe. Traditionally, the egg is made to be a little runny, but for American customers, he scrambles it fully. He's also added a spinach and mushroom crepe to the menu. And then, of course,
the bacon. Oh, you like bacon.
Which one is that one?
You put bacon on everything, so...
So just add bacon to whatever.
I can add bacon to whatever you guys ask me to, and sometimes I look at you a bit dumbfounded. It's because I'm not used to it, and it works out.
When we come back, Gilda shows us the secrets to a good crepe and talks about mentoring the next generation of bakers.
Well, in France, it's going downhill because it's hard to get people to go into the trade.
We'll be right back. Gilda leads us behind the counter, where there are two large circular griddles next to a bucket of buckwheat batter.
So we're going to make a buckwheat crepe with ham, egg, and cheese then. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab the buckwheat that's here. I'm going to take a full ladle of buckwheat. I'm going to put it on the side over here, and we're going to roll it on the crepe griddle. I'm going to try to go all the way to the edges.
So what's in this batter?
So in the crepe batter, the buckwheat has buckwheat flour, water, and sea salt, which I get from Brittany.
And that's it.
And that's it.
No egg, no milk.
No egg, no milk, not in that recipe. I keep it simple. I want what I'm looking for in that mix is to have really the taste of the buckwheat. So we really want that nutty flavor.
I love that.
So some people add milk, add eggs, add even wheat flour, just for it's easier to work. So this one is a bit harder to work that way. But it's pure buckwheat, but it's way better quality.
Okay.
Also, you can cater to people who have allergies to wheat.
It's gluten-free, right?
Gluten-free, so we don't advertise it as a gluten-free item because we have wheat in the bakery, but we have a lot of people who have just intolerance, they come in here just for that.
He cracks an egg right on top of the partially cooked crepe and scrambles it.
So we take a little bit of Swiss cheese. And, just think of it as a mix of a taco and a pizza, I suppose, So the ham is coming here from Place Meat out of Roger City.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good ham, actually. Try to get the best product we can get,
Sure.
So then we take the little paper and the napkin. Just fold it in. And off you go.
Et voilà.
Et voilà, bon appétit. Dig in.
Thank you. It's warm and buttery, and I love that this dish is so versatile. If you're looking for a meal, you can get the classic ham, egg, and cheese, or caramelized onions and Swiss, or really any combination of those. And if you have a sweet tooth, you can swap it out for caramel or Nutella or apples and cinnamon. Any filling is a treat.
Just about, except American cheese.
It seems like life here in Boyne is kind of idyllic. The main road downtown leads right to Lake Charlevoix. There are visitors of all ages, and the regulars seem really friendly. Plus, Boyne Mountain Resort is just 10 minutes away. And Gildas' story sounds like something straight out of a novel, hopping around the globe, serving homemade crepes and pastries to locals wanting warm, fresh goods. But Gildas says it's a tough industry, no matter where you're baking. And what does your typical day look like, or your typical week?
Typical week, we keep Monday off for ourselves. We found that out through the pandemic that we needed a day to just stay home and stay with the kids. So we get Monday completely off. We try not maybe some email and things like that, and accounting maybe. And Tuesday come in here around 7:30 in the morning to do my prep for Wednesday. And then the rest of the week I get here around 2:30 depending on the day, and get going. And
in the morning?
In the morning, yeah. It's morning hours, so baker's hours, I suppose. People are a bit surprised when I tell them that, and I said, no, that was my training. Until I was 18, I started at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then it would depend on the bakeries, on their needs. So it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, it could be 11 o'clock at night. That's what it is, that's life of a baker, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's demanding hours, and bakers, it's demanding hours. There might be low margins depending, there's competition. How has the status of a baker changed, do you think, in France over the years, and maybe even here in the U.S.?
Well, in France, it's going downhill because it's hard to get people to go into the trade because it's hard, like you said.
I mean, those hours.
The hours are hard. The pay is not the best. That's what it is. That's what we're dealing with. It's much harder now than it used to be, and you really have to have people like me who want to do it. You're not doing it for the money. You're doing it because you like it, I suppose, and that's it. Here, anything that's food related, unfortunately, we're in a trend, and I think it's changing a little bit. But I feel like it's I don't know how to say that in English. What garage? I'm going to do that because I can't do anything else. I'm having a hard time finding people who want to do that. So
You find it hard to find people who want to come in and work.
yes, in that trade, yes, because it's hard. We work when people have fun. The 4th of July is our busiest day of the year. All summer long we're busy, you know.
Yeah.
So it's hard to commit to that type of life.
There are a lot of family members that support the bakery throughout the year. Gildas' sister-in-law works on the business side, and his wife Tara helps in the kitchen and even makes fruit jams that are used in the baking. Behind the counter, half a dozen young people do their best to keep up with the line.
But this year we have a new crew, so
I love that you have all the young kids
teenagers,
working there.
So a lot of 14 years old who have never worked, so they have to learn everything. And we got to spend time and teach them teach them work ethic. So when they go somewhere else, they have something to show for, you know. That's important.
And just past the cash register, Gilda's own son mans one of the large round griddles they use for crepes.
Hi, my name is Killian. I work for my parents at Gildas Bakery. I have since I was like 10 years old, and I've loved it every single year. It's probably one of the greatest things I've done, honestly. I've worked a few jobs in my lifetime, but this is always my favorite one, you know, not just because I work for my parents, but I mean, I also get free food and all that, so, you know.
Do you see yourself becoming you're already a baker, but is this something that you want to do in the future?
Potentially. I've had a lot of thoughts about taking over the bakery when my parents retire. I wouldn't do everything the same my dad does. Like, I would do crepes, obviously, but I'd probably switch up some stuff just because I can't do what he does with like the croissants. I don't think I could even learn it. You know, it's such a talent, and I can't come even close to it. So I'd probably put my own spin on it, make my own types of pastries. I'd probably do like cakes. I've always thought about having like a mac and cheese store, like walk in, you know, I love making mac and cheese, so I feel like a mac and cheese dedicated shop would be awesome, but I'd still want to do crepes too, though. That's my favorite thing to do, just because I've been making them since I was 4. Yeah, that's when I made my first one. I wasn't good at it, but over the years I've gotten a lot better, and so they're fun to make, and I don't get tired of it, honestly.
What's your favorite crepe to make for yourself?
Oh, ham, egg, and cheese. That's the one. I mean, that's the most classic, you know. I mean, that's the one my dad made, I'm pretty sure, for you guys too. Anytime you go to like a sit-down creperie in France, that's the main dish is a ham, egg, cheese crepe. So,
like father, like son. What's one dish or pastry that brings you back to Brittany?
Oh, the Queen Yaman. So Queen Yaman, think of Queen of Amman to pronounce it properly, and it translates to cake with butter. So it's basically some croissant dough that we use as a base, and we put an insane amount of butter and sugar in it. It makes it caramelize at the bottom when it cooks, and it makes it awesome. And it's probably the most a hidden gem of the bakery, I would say. It's not as beautiful as a croissant or scone or whatnot, you know. And they see it, they're like, I don't know, and then they try it and they stop and they go, oh my, what was that?
Even though there's so much more Gilda wants to introduce to the menu, the bakery is doing very well. A few folks we talked to were all praise. What do you like about this place?
I'm very grateful it's here. For a small town to have such a beautiful opportunity to eat good food is special. And everyone coming seems to feel that way. Besides that, everyone who works here loves what they do.
What is your name?
Jan Benish.
Jan Benish from Boyne City.
I am.
What is your name?
Elaine.
What do you like to get?
I get the Queen and On. The crepes are good. The croissants are delicious. I'm all the way from Indianapolis here to get this.
What has surprised you about baking and cooking in Boyne City here?
The people who are really open to try it. We took over an old donut shop here. It used to be a donut shop. So when we first opened, some of my best customers now gave me 6 months before I started doing donut, and I said, no, I'm I'm going to keep it the way I'm doing it. And people were very, very open-minded to try it, so it was a success. And I think because we do it fresh every day, they realize that it's good stuff, good product, you know. So
It's a good quality product, so they come back.
make it fresh, keep it fresh.
Many thanks to Gildas Berrou, his wife Tara, and his son Killian for welcoming us into their space. If you're ever in Boyne City, you can find Gildas Lake Street Bakery on, you guessed it, Lake Street. Next month, we head to Southeast Michigan for a more involved recipe featuring crepes.
We just ran the bechamel over the top in the middle of it. There is exposed different aspects of the crepes, the bolognese, the cheese and all of it, so it can caramelize differently over time.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And share it with a friend. Good stories are always better when you pass them along. Today's episode was produced and mixed by Ronia Kabansag, edited by me, Mercedes Mejia, and Laura Weber Davis. Our music comes from Blue Dot Session and Audio Network. Thank you so much for listening. See you next month.